The other thing I wanted to ask you is, is again, it's akin to the current model that we're all dealing with in seeing each other in each other's rooms. Now, not all of that's completely alien to us in what we do, and I know that certainly you've interviewed a lot of people alongside my business remotely, but there's normally an aspect at some point of physical contact, actually seeing people, how they hold themselves and what they do. Have you noticed any shortcoming, or have you adapted anything to allow for the fact that there isn't a physical meeting in place during interviews?
It's a great question, and I think part of it starts with just recognizing that you are missing something, right? But you still have to make a decision, right? You don't get a pass and make a decision because you have to do things remote. So I think number one is you just have to recognize it, and that you will make a decision on a different set of information than you've made decisions before, right? And that's tough, but it's also doable, right? I mean, I think if you spend a bit more time on video, you ask and talk more about some of those softer things that you might pick up with all those kind of physical cues in a face-to-face meeting, around what people value. I often even would start interviews that I knew were only going to be virtual, but just asking them about like who they were, where they grow up, what their family was like. I mean, just to get a sense of who they are as a person, as opposed to immediately going to my instinct of, so what have you done lately, right? And so I think being conscious that you are going to make a decision based on different information, and B, being conscious about trying to elicit a fuller view of the person to compensate for the lack of some of those physical kind of cues that you might have gotten in the past. That's how I've tackled it, and I think it's not perfect, but actually I think you can get some pretty good outcomes.